Hey guys, it's Marty and welcome to Two Line Slot Cars. Welcome to video 3 of the wood routed oval build here at Two Lines. We're almost done. We're getting really, really close. So let's check it out. This build has been not a challenge. Well, that's probably not fair to say, but the build has been very interesting. I've really enjoyed the whole process. I came at it with a plan. I knew what I wanted to do, and that really makes that's half the project right there. Is figuring out exactly what you want to build, exactly what size it's going to be, how do you want to lay it out. I added some things like this week we did walls and paint and worked on track timing, and that's almost complete. So let's really dig in, get this track done, run some laps, and yeah, it feels good to be really close. But I still have some more plans. You know, I do want to put a pit wall in on the infield. I want to do some paint there so that it's not just this big gray track, right? I want to add some character. I want it to look like a racetrack. So I want to build some inner walls. I need to route a pit lane still. So I've got some final touches to do in some plans. But they're things that I don't have to be in a huge hurry because I haven't really decided what I want to do. But let's jump in, get these final things done, and take a look at the track at the end and where we stand today. So here we go. Here I'm cutting some 1/4-inch plywood, like underlayment, that I'm using for the walls, mainly because it'll bend really easy. And I cut them in 2 different sizes. The corners they're 10 inches tall, which gave me about 6, almost 5.5 inches of wall. And then it covered the 2x4s that were with the table. So, and then the side walls, I had about 3 inches. So those were actually like 7.5 inches wide, mainly so that they looked finished on the outside. So now I'm painting them. I went with white just because I had the paint laying around. You know, I'm trying to stay on a budget and trying to do this track for under $400, and I'm going to come in way under that. So we've done a lot of reuse of stuff that I've already purchased for other projects, but I didn't have enough underlayment to do everything, so I just went and bought a 4x8 sheet of plywood, and now I've got the inner wall inside painted white. Now I'm attaching it. I used my brad nailer just to tack it up so I could get everything even in the correct height. I have another angle coming up so you can actually see what I'm doing. And then I put some screws in it, and it bent right around. So I was just measuring to find the middle. I put some shims in just so they could keep the wall straight. And we tack them in. And then I came back and added screws so that they held really well. And I put some blocks in. Here's just after I've got some of the walls up. Looking pretty good.
Just got to do the inside.
I still have one side wall to put in. Now I'm installing that. Used some clamps just to give me a hand since I was by myself. Nice and secure. I put blocks in between where the 2 met up. It's not perfect, but it does the job. Put a coat of paint on the outside so that it just looks professional. It's not professional, but I tried to make it look the part. But I put a couple coats of paint. It should hold up for a long time. So now we're going to run a few laps with the land barge now that we have the track pretty much complete. At least complete enough to run some cars and not worry about them flying off the track. So again, I think I'm going to taper the corner walls down a little bit just to meet up with the sidewalls. These are just like the final touches, finishing things. But once you can run cars, that's really what you want to do. Now let's take a tour.
All right, guys. So here's where we're at. We've installed the walls, driver stations, the wiring's done, walls are painted. Really the only thing left to do is to finish the bridge, but I do have 1 lane timing right now. I'm running Faslaps. So what do I have left to do? Is finish the bridge so that the timing will work on all 4 lanes. And then I want this to be 1 cord over. So underneath, my plan is to build a shelf that hangs down off the table that will hold the computer and everything that needs to be under the table for the timing. So that I basically have a TV I'll put up here, mount on this wall or on that wall. Probably get a bigger screen and just have 1 cord so I can move this table anywhere in this room. Now I know that it's not going to fit everywhere. I still have my podcast table, but I think this shelving unit I'm going to move into the other room over here so I can eliminate that. That'll give us some space here. This room is about 16, 17 feet long and about 15 feet wide. The table will fit lengthwise. So if I want to put it up against the wall, because it's on casters, I can slide this whole thing and it'll slide right into this space. And then I could put the TV up there. The only problem that presents is marshalling. If something comes out across, we'll have to use a reacher just like we do, but the reach is pretty easy. And we have plenty of those. But then I get back most of this whole room. So then the podcast, which I put on casters, I can move it out closer to the middle for podcasts. And then when I'm not podcasting, I can move it back here. We still got the fridge, ice cold water. John Mark, his garage for his cars. And then we can pull the table out and run it at a diagonal. Would allow everybody to be able to move all the way around the track. So I think that putting on casters was the right move. I think that was a good decision. It's easy to move. It rolls well. I spent some extra dollars and got like a 5-inch caster. I think that's what that is. And it rolls super smooth on this floor. But I did strengthen the legs just because I had a few people reach out and were worried about that. I do want to get some decals. I do have some stripes for the wall that I pulled off the old track that I could put on the inside. The other thing I'm thinking about doing is maybe getting some foam core and just lining this edge real thin, just to soften that. But this honestly isn't really that hard. But there you have it. The Two Lions Speedway Oval. Again, still haven't figured out what the name is, but I figure I will put the name on the side somewhere. Maybe I put it along the wall, like NASCAR speedways. I don't know. We'll see. Anybody has ideas, put them in the comments. It'd be great. The one thing that I do want to do is in turn 4 here if you race and you make it to Two Line Speedway and you run some cars on this layout, I'm going to have you sign it. And hopefully we'll fill this wall with signatures of all the guys who have run some cars. So let's throw a car. Let's see how fast the Group C cars are. Wow, they're quick. These slotted cars are quick and smooth on this wood track. Nice. 2 1s, 2 2s, guys. That's awesome. And let's run the Jake Dyke Special. This car, my first scratch build car. I love this car. Not quite as fast, but it's smooth as butter. Now, I haven't cleaned the track off and I haven't cleaned the tires. We know that clean tires are happy tires, but it's going to be fun running this track in, laying down some rubber. Good times. Good times. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this build. You can do this. You can do this. If you have questions, send me a message. Happy to help. Happy to help. I went red, white, green, and blue. And the reason why is I just think the green looks so good in the lanes. So good.
All right, there we are. The track is almost finished. And I'll probably do a follow-up video in a couple weeks once I get some of the other things done. But for the most part, we are finished. We are able to race. You saw the few things I have left to do, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So whether I call it the Chili Bowl, whether it's the First Capital Raceway, whether we call it the Atomic Speedway, named after the local track here in Chillicothe, I don't know. Maybe it's just the Two Lines Bull Ring, or it's Two Line Speedway. I don't know. We'll see. But guys, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you hanging out with me while I built this track. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Send me a message. Happy to answer. Again, I think that if you have a good plan, anyone can do this. So if you always thought about building a wood-routed track, even if it's a small test track, don't be afraid to do it. Jump in there. I know you can do it. If you got the tools, borrow tools, whatever. Guys, if you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, hit the bell so you get notified anytime I put out new content. Yeah, man, I really appreciate you guys really supporting the channel. It's been phenomenal. And I want to shout out to our buddy Pat Slots. Just know we're thinking about you, brother, and we love you, and you're not in this thing alone. You have a lot of people who love you and going to support you. So check out Pat's channel. He did an update this week and kind of filled in everybody on what's going on in his life. And so just give him some good thoughts or prayers. He would appreciate them. So guys, thanks for tuning in, and go have some fun racing.